Have you ever wondered why you keep falling into the same patterns, making the same mistakes, reacting the same way to stress, even when you promise yourself things will be different this time? Your brain has been wired through years of repetition, and those neural pathways are like highways carved deep into your mind. But here's the extraordinary truth that neuroscience has proven. You can rewire your brain in just 21 days. Not metaphorically, not theoretically, literally. Your brain possesses a remarkable ability called neuroplasticity, and understanding how to harness it will change everything about how you think, feel, and act. Right now, in this moment, you have the power to begin reshaping your neural architecture. Before we dive deep into the science and the exact protocol for reprogramming your brain, I need you to do something. Hit that subscribe button right now, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on notifications. Because the information you're about to receive isn't just theory. It's a complete roadmap backed by cutting-edge neuroscience, and you'll want to come back to this. Let's talk about the problem you're facing right now. Every single day, you're running on autopilot. Approximately 95% of your thoughts today are the same thoughts you had yesterday. You wake up, check your phone, feel the same stress about work, react to your partner or family members in predictable ways, reach for the same foods, and fall asleep with the same worries circling your mind. This isn't a personal failure. This is your brain doing exactly what it's designed to do: conserve energy by running established programs. Your neural pathways are like grooves in a record, and your thoughts are the needle, playing the same song over and over. The challenge is that you're trying to change your behavior without changing the underlying neural circuits that drive that behavior. Here's what happens inside your brain. Every thought you think, every action you take, every emotion you feel creates a neural pathway. When you repeat that thought, action, or emotion, you strengthen that pathway. Neurons that fire together wire together. This is Hebbian learning, and it's the foundation of how your brain builds habits, skills, and personality traits. The pathways you use most frequently become myelinated, coated with a fatty substance that makes signal transmission up to 100 times faster. This is why your automatic behaviors feel effortless, while new behaviors feel exhausting. Your brain has literally built superhighways for your old patterns and dirt roads for your new ones. But neuroplasticity works both ways. Just as your brain can strengthen pathways through repetition, it can also weaken them through disuse. When you stop traveling down an old neural pathway, it begins to atrophy. Meanwhile, every time you choose a new thought or behavior, you're laying down a new pathway. At first, it's weak, like a footpath through tall grass. But with consistent repetition, it becomes a trail, then a road, then a highway. Research shows that it takes approximately 21 days of consistent practice to begin establishing a new neural pattern, and around 63 days for it to become truly automatic. But those first 21 days are critical. So how do you actually reprogram your brain in 21 days? The first principle is specificity. Your brain doesn't respond to vague intentions. It responds to specific, repeated patterns. You can't just decide to be more positive. You need to identify the exact neural pathway you want to weaken and the exact pathway you want to strengthen. For example, if you want to stop reacting with anger when criticized, you need to identify the trigger, which is criticism, the old pathway, which is defensiveness and anger, and the new pathway, which might be curiosity and openness. Write this down. Make it concrete. The second principle is conscious repetition. To rewire your brain, you must bring conscious awareness to your patterns. When you catch yourself about to run the old program, pause. This pause is everything. In that moment of awareness, you're interrupting the automatic signal. Viktor Frankl wrote that between stimulus and response there is a space, and in that space is our power to choose our response. That pause allows your prefrontal cortex to override your limbic system. But you have to practice the pause deliberately, again and again. The third principle is replacement. You cannot simply stop an old pattern. You must replace the old pathway with a new one. If you're trying to quit checking social media first thing in the morning, you can't just not check it. You have to replace that action with something else: meditation, reading, exercise, journaling. The new behavior must be predetermined, not decided in the moment, because in the moment, your old neural pathway will win every time. let's talk about the role of emotion in neural rewiring. Your brain pays attention to experiences that carry emotional weight. Emotion acts like a highlighter for your brain, saying, "This matters. Store this." When you're creating new neural pathways, you need to engage emotion. If you're trying to build a morning exercise habit, don't just mechanically do the movements. Feel gratitude for your body's ability to move. Feel pride in your commitment. These emotions activate your brain's reward system, releasing dopamine, which strengthens the neural connections you're forming. Jim Quick, one of the world's leading experts on brain performance, teaches that learning happens best when you engage emotion. The same applies to behavior change. Now, let's address the science of the 21-day time frame. In the 1960s, plastic surgeon Maxwell Maltz observed that it took patients about 21 days to adjust to their new appearance after surgery. Modern research shows the reality is more nuanced. A study by Philippa Lally at University College London found that on average, it takes 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic, but significant changes begin to occur around the 21-day mark. This is when the new neural pathway has been activated enough times to start becoming established. The first 21 days are the hardest because you're fighting against your brain's natural tendency to revert to established patterns. If you can make it through those 21 days with consistent practice, you've built momentum. Let's get practical with a day-by-day approach. Day 1 through 7 is the awareness phase. Your primary goal is to catch yourself running the old pattern. Every time you catch it, celebrate. Keep a journal. Write down every instance you noticed the old pattern. Note what triggered it, how it felt, what the outcome was. By day 7, you should be catching the pattern at least 70% of the time. Day 8 through 14 is the substitution phase. Now you're actively practicing the new pattern. Every time you catch the old pattern trying to run, you pause, and you execute the new pattern instead. This is mentally exhausting. Your brain is literally building new infrastructure. Be patient with yourself, but be consistent. Miss one day, and you've set yourself back too. This is where most people give up. Push through. By day 14, the new pattern should feel slightly less awkward. Day 15 through 21 is the integration phase. The new pattern is becoming more familiar. You're catching the old pattern earlier in its sequence. The new pattern requires less conscious effort. You're starting to see real results in your life. By day 21, you've created a viable alternative pathway. The old one still exists, but it's weaker. The new one is functional, though not yet fully automatic. Let's talk about the obstacles that derail most people. The first is expecting linear progress. Brain change doesn't happen in a straight line. You'll have great days followed by days where you completely forget and run the old program. This isn't failure. This is normal. Don't judge yourself. Just notice it and get back to practicing the new pattern. The second obstacle is trying to change too many things at once. Your prefrontal cortex has limited capacity. If you try to rewire 5 different patterns simultaneously, you'll overwhelm your system and accomplish nothing. Choose one pattern. Give it your full attention for 21 days. Build sequentially, not simultaneously. The third obstacle is lack of environmental support. Your environment is constantly cueing your old behaviors. James Clear emphasizes that environment design is behavior design. Make your environment support your new pathway. Remove cues for the old behavior. Add cues for the new one. There's a powerful technique from neuroscience called mental rehearsal or visualization. Your brain doesn't distinguish much between vividly imagining an action and actually performing it. Every morning, spend 5 minutes vividly imagining yourself successfully executing your new pattern. See yourself encountering the trigger. Feel yourself pausing. Watch yourself choosing the new response. This mental rehearsal is laying down neural tracks before you even face the real situation. Sleep plays a critical role in neural consolidation. During deep sleep, your brain replays the patterns you practiced during the day, strengthening those connections. If you're serious about rewiring your brain, prioritize 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every night during these 21 days. Without adequate sleep, the neural consolidation process is impaired. Nutrition matters too. Your brain is building new neural infrastructure, and it needs raw materials. Omega-3 fatty acids are essential for building myelin. B vitamins support neurotransmitter production. You don't need a perfect diet, but during these 21 days, make an effort to fuel your brain properly. Hydration is also crucial. Even mild dehydration impairs cognitive function. Let's address the role of stress. Chronic stress floods your brain with cortisol, which actually impairs neuroplasticity. High cortisol levels reduce the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is like fertilizer for neural growth. To maximize your success during these 21 days, implement stress reduction practices. Even 5 minutes of deep breathing or meditation can lower cortisol and create a more favorable environment for neural change. Social connection influences neuroplasticity. When you share your goals with someone who supports you, your brain releases oxytocin, which enhances learning and memory. Find someone who will check in with you daily during these 21 days. This social reinforcement strengthens your commitment and activates reward circuits in your brain. The concept of identity shift is crucial for lasting change. You're not just trying to do something different. You're trying to become someone different. As you practice your new pattern over these 21 days, consciously shift your self-concept. Instead of saying, "I'm trying to be more organized," say, "I'm becoming an organized person," and eventually, "I'm an organized person." Your brain will then work to maintain consistency with that identity. One of the most powerful findings in neuroscience research is that learning and change happen best at the edge of your ability. If something is too easy, your brain doesn't pay attention. If it's too hard, you get overwhelmed. The sweet spot is when you're stretching just beyond your current capacity. As you practice your new pattern, make sure it's challenging enough to engage your full attention, but not so difficult that you feel defeated. Let's talk about what happens after 21 days. You've built the foundation of a new neural pathway, but the work isn't finished. Continue practicing the new pattern for at least another 40 days to reach full automaticity. But here's the good news. After 21 days, it becomes significantly easier. The heavy lifting is done. You also need to be aware of the extinction burst phenomenon. When you first stop reinforcing an old behavior, it often gets worse before it gets better. Around day 10 to 14, you might experience intense urges stronger than before. This doesn't mean you're failing. It means the old pathway is fighting for survival. Push through this extinction burst, and the urges will diminish rapidly afterward. Understanding dopamine's role gives you another tool for success. Dopamine is released not when you receive a reward, but when you anticipate one. Create small, immediate rewards for executing your new pattern. Don't wait until day 21 to celebrate. Celebrate day 1. Celebrate every single time you catch the old pattern and choose the new one. This creates a dopamine hit that your brain associates with the new behavior. The transformation that happens when you successfully rewire your brain goes far beyond the specific behavior you changed. You prove to yourself that change is possible. You build self-efficacy. Once you've rewired one pattern, the next one is easier because you know the process works. Many people find that changing one significant pattern creates a cascade of positive changes in other areas. This is the moment where everything comes together. You now understand that your brain is not fixed. You're not stuck with the patterns you have. Neuroplasticity is real, it's powerful, and it's yours to harness. The 21-day protocol isn't magic. It's science. Choose one pattern. Make it specific. Practice it consciously. Replace the old with the new. Engage emotion. Support your brain with sleep, nutrition, and stress management. Use your environment, your social connections, and your identity to reinforce the change. Expect challenges. Persist through the extinction burst. Celebrate small wins. And watch as your brain literally reshapes itself. If you've made it this far, you're serious about change. Do me a favor right now. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and hit that like button. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Your brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons and trillions of connections. Every single day, you have the opportunity to sculpt it, to shape it, to direct it toward the life you want to live. The next 21 days will pass whether you use them intentionally or not. The question is, who will you be on day 22?